Actors Theater was founded in 1964 and designated as the State Theater of Kentucky in 1974. The local gem started out as a modest downtown Louisville acting space, but has since transformed into one of America's top theater companies. It's even gained worldwide attention for the annual Humana Festival of New American Plays. Tonight, Shay McAlister takes us back in the WHAS 11 vault to one part of this production's storied history. It's an international tour from 1980.
The play was called Getting Out and was written by a former Courier-Journal reporter, Marcia Norman.
For me, who always said I was just a storyteller, to come into the land of the great storytellers and be accepted is a thrill that I really can't even describe to you.
The production first premiered at the Humana Festival in 1979 and was so well received they took it on tour to 3 international cities 1 year later.
In one sense, it's it has a strong local base. In another sense, I don't think we've run into anyone yet who couldn't understand it.
Some of the greatest literature and drama in our language has come from this city and the country they call the Emerald Isle. It's the home of George Bernard Shaw and Brendan Behan, a country where artists take their place among the nation's heroes.
WHAS 11 anchor Jim Mitchell joined the actors' crew on their journey, first landing in Dublin and watching the set come to life.
This ornate old theater is the Olympia. It's the oldest in Dublin, one of several hosting the Dublin Theatre Festival, and for this week it is home for Actors Theatre of Louisville.
The set for the production was a critical part of the show, as the main character moved back and forth in time from her imprisonment in Alabama to her try for a new start in Louisville. Both the jail and the apartment had to be on stage all the time.
And the entire set has to be built piece by piece every time the Actors Theatre Company moves to a new stage.
The man for that job was Kentucky master carpenter George Kimmel, traveling with the show to lead the behind-the-scenes set build, and he says there was some challenges along the way, including the obvious language barriers.
We've had different crews in every place we've been. In Yugoslavia, of course, it was difficult because of the translation problem. Whenever someone was doing something wrong, I had to grab an interpreter and frantically go over and explain to them that he was doing something wrong.
On this second stop of Actors International Tour, we'll see what it's like taking an all-Kentucky drama to an Irish audience.
The actors started their Irish leg of the tour with a press conference, greeting Dublin theater critics, a crew that was well aware of Actors Theater and Louisville.
They've heard of our city. They know Actors Theater breaks new ground. The country's most respected critic, Dr. David Nolan of the Irish Times, called Getting Out the most vivid piece of American drama in years.
And these have been the warmest audiences so far, with the exception of, Louisville, they like it. Very much.
Next up on the tour, Israel.
Jerusalem is a 4,000-year-old city considered a holy city by the world's 3 great religions that make up half the population of this globe.
Jim Mitchell and the WHAS 11 crew stumbled upon a wedding while visiting the small towns around the theater.
We also sample Israeli food, steak and French fries for the homesick, but also cholent, the traditional Sabbath dish of beans, a little meat, and a kind of sausage. It's terrific, by the way.
Mitchell was there for the first night of the show in Tel Aviv, where locals watched a piece of Kentucky literature come to life.
For some Israelis, an American play is like coming home. They've moved here from the States. They, too, have been following the progress of the Actors Theatre of Louisville tour.
I enjoyed it extremely. It was very, very good. The acting was magnificent.
3 countries, 3 big hits. And for the theater, it was only the beginning of worldwide fame.
Playwright Marcia Norman would go on to win a Pulitzer Prize for her show Night Mother in 1983. Remember, every Sunday we're digging into the WHAS 11 video archives to feature an interesting piece of our history. You can see the previous Vault segments right now on WHAS11.com.